Okay, I came across something recently on the internet where they said that one infinity is bigger than another infinity, that one infinity can be bigger than another infinity. But I don't really agree with that, and here's why. Okay, mind you, I'm not a mathematician, I'm not a physicist. It's just something I came across on the internet, and I thought about it, and it just doesn't make sense to me. Now, they said when you are counting, whole numbers, decimals, one, two, three, all the way to infinity, that's infinity, and then the fractions between 0 and 1 can also run to infinity. So now the whole number infinity is bigger than the infinity between 0 and 1. Now, here's why I don't agree with this, or where it doesn't make sense to me. From the definition of what infinite means is endless and cannot be calculated. But when you say something is bigger than something, it means that you've done some calculation and there's a difference. If I say this TV is bigger than that TV, it means that there's a difference between the sizes of the televisions of the TVs. So now, what is the difference between the smaller infinity, according to people talking about it, and the bigger infinity? And now, if there is a difference between the two of them, does that not now go against the definition of what infinity is, being something that cannot be calculated? Now, think of it this way: in our universe is our universe believes to the infinite. So think of, there's another universe somewhere, and it's also infinite. And now someone telling you that, oh, these two universes, they are infinite, but one is bigger than the other. Okay, so now what's the difference in size? Now you've calculated them, and now they are no longer infinite, or at least one is no longer infinite. See, I'm not a mathematician, I'm not a physics. I just came across this problem and it has been bugging me. This is after 1 a.m. in my country right now, and I can't I can't sleep. I've been thinking about it. So just please tag people that let them make it make sense to me. You get? I think, or I believe, what we're talking about here is counting. 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way to is counting. Fractions between 0 and 1, it's counting. Negative numbers, positive numbers, it's all counting. And counting in my language is on Google, it goes into infinity. Anything that is counting goes into infinity. So you can't say that one type of counting is bigger than another type of counting. It's just everything is just counting. Is infinity. It just goes on. There's none is bigger than the other. They're all the same thing. That is what makes sense. You get, but saying one is bigger than the other, it doesn't make sense. I just believe that I feel like maybe somebody in the past came up with it and it sounded really smart and everybody jumped on it without actually thinking about it. And I believe I'm able to think about it. I'm able to think about it this way because I'm not a mathematician. I'm not a physicist. And just thinking about it with the common man sense, it doesn't make sense. It's counting. Counting is counting. If counting goes into infinity, you can't say because another counting is in another direction, it's smaller or it is bigger. If you now say it is smaller or it is bigger, then it is no longer infinite, because anything that is infinite can't be counted, and it doesn't make sense. I just believe infinity, or rather, not I believe, I'm sure infinity, or the truth is that infinity is just infinity. None is bigger than the other. Whenever there's something I do, whenever I am faced with a theory or whatever, I try to know what's really true about it. I try to understand it from the angle, from the perspective of being the truth. So now, saying that one infinity is bigger than the other is now against the definition of infinity being something that cannot be calculated. So please, if I'm going to tag some YouTube people, physicists, mathematicians that I know, and please, if you're saying this thing, please tag people who you know who are also mathematicians, so that they can watch watch this and also tell me what they think. If I'm missing something somewhere, as I said, I'm not a mathematician. If I'm missing something somewhere, please let me know. Thank you.